Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. In my last portrait study video, I got a lot of comments from people saying the girl in the study looked like Nayeon from Twice, the K-pop group. So for today's video, I thought it'd be fun to do a study of Nayeon, and this time, instead of watercolor, use gouache to switch things up a bit. But before I begin, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Audible. Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks in the world. As well, it is the home to Audible Originals, which are exclusive titles by celebrated storytellers from diverse fields such as theater, journalism, literature, and more. The title I was really interested in listening to was Getting Things Done: The Art of Stress-Free Productivity by David Allen. Last year was my first full year of being an independent artist, and this year I really want to be more effective with my time so that I can improve on my business and achieve all of my artistic goals. One thing David Allen stressed that really struck me was the importance of finishing simple tasks and not leaving them around to get piled up, because they all add up to the background noise in your head. And every moment I waste feeling bad or anxious over the things that I never got around to is a distraction and time taken away from the real task at hand. So this year I'm really going to try to make an effort to get my headspace and physical space organized so that I can be my most productive self. I've been really enjoying listening to this audiobook while I paint. If you're interested in this title or in any of the many titles Audible has to offer, you can get your first audiobook for free when you try Audible for 30 days. Visit audible.com/Chris Hong, or for the US listeners, text Chris Hong to 500-500. Again, that's audible.com/Chris Hong, or text Chris Hong to 500-500 for your free audiobook when you try Audible for 30 days. Now on to the video. So as I did with the last study, I'm going to do a quick sketch. Okay, so let's start there. I'm just roughing out the major shapes and angles that I see. It was really hard trying to find the picture that I wanted to work with, and I like this one because I really like this angle of her face. I feel like you can really see the features that make Nayeon's face a little unique. Let's see, let's get her eye line somewhere there, the bottom of the nose. And she has such a distinct mouth shape. It's pretty crucial that I get it right. One of the constructive feedback that I had on my last study was that I had exaggerated her forehead too much, and therefore it has strayed away from how she looks. And for me, when I do these kinds of studies, my intention isn't really to get the exact likeness of the reference. That's just not what I'm aiming to improve on. When I'm doing a portrait study with a certain medium, it's usually to improve on working with that medium. As well, it's to improve on painting faces in general, because I could always use more practice in that department. And whenever I draw my own illustrations and I'm trying to render out my characters' faces, I struggle. So these exercises are really just to help me be able to paint my characters better. With today's study with Nayeon, because she is quite famous, and because she has distinct features, I do feel like I should try a little bit to at least make it look like her. I think we're ready. All right, so here's the sketch. Turned out a lot smaller than I thought it would be, but it's all good. So as always, I don't know where to start exactly, but that doesn't always matter. You gotta start somewhere. I'm gonna start out with the light parts of her skin, like the lit areas. I'm gonna put down a base of that, and then I will go back in later and add the shadows. So yeah, I think it's a light enough mixture, and also it's diluted enough that I don't have to worry too much. I'm just gonna be quite loose with it and work quickly so it doesn't leave any unwanted brush strokes. So I'm seeing a pinkish brown kind of hair color. Approaching the painting with gouache is definitely different from watercolor. I think with gouache, because I know that I can paint over things more seamlessly, it allows me to be less careful, a little bit more experimental, I think. I think I'm thinking more in terms of getting the right value down as opposed to getting the right color down. The colors I can tweak later once the foundation is there and once I know where my values are going to be placed. But if I try to get the right color down as well as the right value, then that's just a little bit too, it's trying to get too much right too quickly. So now I think I'm gonna go in with some of the more obvious shadows that I see. One of the techniques, or one of the strategies I have with paintings is, if I don't know what I'm doing especially, I try to go in first with what I can see for sure. For example, the underneath the ear here, I feel like there's a strong shadow there. And under her hair here where it meets the ear. And I like to put a very saturated color towards where the hair meets the skin. I forget why that is. There's a reason for it, like a scientific reason, I guess. It also helps to soften the line between the hair so it doesn't just look like a toupee or something. Then I'm going to draw this shadow shape of the head here. Once I draw that shadow in there, you'll see that the hair or the head suddenly has a lot more structure to it. Let's see if it rings true. It's really hard for me to like tell what color things are. Like actually, I just guess. And whatever I put down, if it looks good, I just kind of run with it. See, like I'm probably going a little bit too pink. I think my eyes are picking up more pink than there actually is on her hair, but I don't know, I'm kind of digging it. I'm digging the pink. As long as I am consistent in the rest of the picture, then it'll work. It's actually really easy to indicate plane changes once you have a clearer understanding of where those planes exist. So I'm gonna start painting in the undersides of the planes of her face. Just trying to put the right value down, or at least close enough anyway. Dark enough that it does appear like it is in shadow. Let's try to be light-handed. I suspect I'm gonna have to go back in and lift some of that paint up. Ooh. Okay, let's just buff it out. When in doubt, buff it out. We'll try again, but maybe before I go in there, let's get the underside of her chin. This whole shape here is in shadow. I think I'm gonna move on to the eyes. So going into the undersides of her eye, I don't know why, but it does make it easier to see the shape of the eyes once I get that dark shape into place. Ooh, I always get a little bit nervous when I'm painting the eyes. She looks really freaky. Oh, she looks quite scary. Maybe I made her eye, the white of the eye, too pink. Just like a real bunny rabbit. I'm gonna fix that. I'll come back to that.
I can fix it.
Oh, this is really nerve-wracking. I feel like I'm doing a horrible job. So when that happens, once I kind of actually give up on the piece, I do little bolder things with it, and I tend to work a little bit faster because I'm like, whatever happens, whatever, it's a lost cause anyway. Can I pull this together? Let's find out. Some background color might save me. Actually, yeah, I like that. Oh, did that kind of save it? I think it definitely helped. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and throw the cast shadow underneath the carrot to ground that a little bit so it's not just like floating on top of her head. Oh dear. This cheek here, I want it to fade into the background more. So yeah, I'm gonna knock the value down so it recedes into the background, and doing that, it will make this chin pop out. I don't know. So much self-doubt. I'm gonna add in the little shadow of the cheek there. Actually, I think I am gonna go back. That one got this got a little bit too dark. Now that I look at it. Yeah, gotta be careful. Don't wanna be overhanded. I think that's enough pigment, and I'm just gonna buff it out. This is hard. I think this area could be darkened a bit more, so I think that's what I'll attempt to do now. Wish me luck. Is it any better? I don't know. Oh, so much doubt. It's not so bad, but it's not good. Why does that area keep getting darker and darker? Whine. Okay, I'm gonna stop whining. Okay, last ditch effort here. Last ditch effort. Don't even know what I'm doing, but bringing some pink to her cheeks. drawing eyelashes. I rarely draw or like paint eyelashes, like kind of realistic looking ones. I can draw like the cartoony graphic lashes, but actually the eyelashes are kind of helping a lot. Maybe that was key. Yeah, that's not so bad actually. Even though I'm kind of scared to, I'm gonna paint in that eye bag. Give it a bit more, because right now I don't like how you can see that pencil line. Hopefully that doesn't dry out too dark, because as we know, gouache likes to dry dark when you want it to be light and then lighter when you want it to be dark. It's really finicky like that. I think I'm finally gonna go in with the bobby pins and then call it done. So that's how she turned out. I think it was a valiant effort. Room for improvement. But like I said, when I choose to do these studies, if I try to get the likeness down as well, then that's an added layer of difficulty that I have to juggle with. And so oftentimes when I do a study, it's not my objective to get the exact likeness because it's hard. Is this acceptable now? Could I walk away now? I think I definitely feel some added pressure because I know that if I get her horribly wrong, then some people might be mad at me. Okay, I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna call this done. Here's how Nayeon turned out. So that is it for today's video. I am kind of bummed out that I didn't quite get her likeness, but I have to remind myself it's just a study and the point is to practice and make mistakes and learn from them. So I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!